We're here at my home in beautiful Lac-Beauport, Quebec. This is just 20 minutes outside of downtown, just north of Quebec City, where the hills, like the mountains, start to pick up a bit. And yeah, I've lived here for like 7 or 8 years now. I grew up in Quebec City, right outside the city in the closest suburb to downtown. And I lived in the same house my whole life. And I lived in that same house until I was 25. And then I moved here, and I'm now like 20-30 minutes from that house. I think the first time I saw a snowboard was at the little hill that my parents would bring me. We would use like GT racers or just regular sleds, like kids sleds. And just like older kids were snowboarding and like jumping. Like they had this little kicker and would jump, and that must have been like the first time I saw it. Soon enough, my brother and I were trying to stand up on the sleds and try to make it down the whole hill, or even like try to jump little bumps. I think it was around the same time that I discovered skating. So snowboarding was just like the winter version of it. A whole spring break we rented boards. My brother and I, we like picked up really quickly, and we were automatically hooked. Like we would go to Le Relais, which is actually like 5 minutes from here now. Like every Sunday we would go there, but with Quebec getting snow everywhere in the city, we would be able to do like a little backyard setup, or the park nearby had some hills. I think the first slide I saw, or rail, was like a PVC pipe on the ground. And I remember like trying it, you know, and sliding directly to my to my butt because it's so slippery, and like realizing, oh damn, like they make it look really easy in videos. I didn't care so much about results or contests. Like, yeah, I was always attracted by filming more, and just like the music aspect, the like location, like the uniqueness and the creativeness of it. The first real one that got me hooked was G.O.A.T by MacDog Productions. After 4 years of Le Relais, we moved to Stoneham, and that's where we met a lot of people. Laurent, Ben, the Demers brothers, Greg, Alex, you know, Will Levine, Frank April. The first filming that we did was at Stoneham, just on the resort, and like sometimes we'd go to some easy spots like in the city. Will and Charles were like down just to film. Like they were able to ride, but we're filmers, which was crazy at that time, and it definitely allowed us to concentrate on riding, and then like get to see what we'd done and review footage, and they would make like little movies, and we'd get hyped, and you know, it just escalated from there. This is actually one of my first boards. I would ride it at Stoneham. Kevin Sensalone board. Oh, this is gold. Genius. I was super hyped. Kevin Jones Pro Model. I have frontside 9 mute on this, where I like slap the grab and like spin like this on this board. This is the first graphic that I put like I had an input on. I moved directly from my mom's house to here, and I was looking at places with no neighbors in the back, and this is kind of like the ultimate one that I found. And it's this hill that I've been maintaining, and every now and then I'll go and cut the branches and kind of clean up the mess in the trees and make sure that it's rideable in the winter. I try to just like create bumps or fill up some of the holes. There's so much dead wood that just cutting that dead wood makes kind of the room that I need. Being more involved in the projects just kind of came naturally after filming for year after year after year. 10 years later, I was just like, okay, I kind of need to be stimulated a bit more. Deja Vu came together maybe 5-6 years after everyone was doing their own things. Like Nick was doing Forum, some dudes were doing Rome videos, Transworld, VG, a lot of people were in VG. I think Greg was actually the instigator, but He was like, why don't you guys do one thing? And he kind of placed the idea in our head, and we all thought about it for a second and realized that why not? Like, I think it'd make a lot of sense if we all came back together, because especially with being all friends when we're back home. What keeps snowboarding interesting for me is like going to new places. Also just like maturing through a sport is pretty sick. Like I used to be super into like straight up like down bars, like going and sessioning it for like a full day, like ride 10 foot, slide, ride 10 foot, unstrap, do it again like 100 times. And now I'm more into like flow and continuity and like speed, and just like, and I feel like I have even more maturing now to do, and there's still plenty that I've never done. Snowboarding it's quite vast, so you can always like go try something that you've never tried. The options are infinite. Snowboarding groomed me as a person like more than anything else in my life, for sure. It's been the main part of my life for the last like 20 years. You know, I learned hard work through it. Maybe it's cheesy to say, but you learn to fall like over and over and over and get up again. Get hurt a little bit, but you're still moving, you can still try it again. This is baby Thomas. Right now he's about 3 months and a half. It's changed my perspective on things now, and like I see things a bit differently. It hasn't changed my priorities. I think it just, all my priorities have been bumped down one notch, and now this is top priority. I want to continue with what I did in Beacon and try to find like powder and street stuff mixed together, what I call hybrid snowboarding. You know, I'll see if he wants to do it, but I'll give him the option. But I think if he does, you know, I'm already dreaming about like following him around on his snowboard, and I see a lot of potential too with the backyard. Snowboarding's just, until I can do it, I think I'm gonna be doing it.